The MK Party chief whip in the Peace and Security cluster, Mzwanele Manyi, has formally objected to the appointment of retired Judge Takalani Raulinga as IDAC Ombud. In a letter to the Justice Minister Mamoloko Kubayi and the Portfolio Committee Chair Xola Nqola, Manyi raises concerns about the appointment. He joins us now to pick up on that conversation and outline those concerns that he has. Good evening to you, Mr. Manyi, and thank you for your time. Why are you objecting to the appointment of Judge Raulinga as the IDAC Ombud?
Yeah, good evening, Babu Smelani and your listenership, your viewership. But let's first of all correct something. Chief whip, the word chief only is used only once in Parliament with one person only, the chief whip. I'm just the whip of the Peace and Security cluster. Yeah, but I'm also a member of the Justice and Constitutional Development Committee. For us as the MK Party, we take the processes very seriously. We take governance very seriously. We have a problem with something that looks like it would lack credibility. The appointment of this judge, in fact, the more we look into it as the MK Party, the more we discover problems. Firstly, after the announcement of this position on the 10th of July, as it were, then a few things cropped up that this person is the same person that somewhere in 2015, just unprompted, just decided to put it out there that he is a big friend of the then Deputy President Ramaphosa at the time. And in fact, the person that had a serious problem with this, which makes it a problematic thing based on who has a problem with this, which was Chief Justice Mogoeng at the time, who said to him, why is it that you put this thing in your CV? Why is it that you tell us about your connections in the political world? Are you trying to tell us that you are connected to the high and mighty? That was the conversation. And to cut the long story short, he ended up, I think, even apologizing for the thing and all of that. So I thought, well, maybe the chapter is closed, as it were. Now, in the interview of yesterday, for instance, when we raised this thing that in 2015, this man had this thing that he had done in the interviews for the JSC. He was actually vying for JP position. Yeah. He didn't get that position, and I want to argue that the reason he didn't get it is because Chief Justice Mogoeng made a call that to appoint somebody who is associated in the political front would actually compromise the judiciary. So I was saying, if Chief Justice Mogoeng thought that this person can be the head of the division, why is it that this person can now head up this thing? The same issues that Chief Justice Mogoeng was raising, why have they died now? And only yesterday, Judge Raulinga reminded us that, in fact, the very issue that Justice Mogoeng had a problem with still continues. He tells us yesterday in your other competition TV channel here that he is still friends with Mr. Ramaphosa, the president. He can't hide it and all of that. Yeah. Now, the question is, with the same issue that Mogoeng had raised at the time, is actually current now. We're not talking historical. Yes. And I hear that people, including himself, when they address the matter, they deviate and they deal with a whole lot of things that are unrelated.
In fact, let me ask you.
We have never, as MK Party.
Let me ask you why that friendship with President Cyril Ramaphosa is problematic in the context in which the job at hand is separate from the job for which he was being interviewed. In other words, I'm asking, do you consider it to be equally problematic that it was problematic for a judge vying to be judge president in front of whom cases could come up potentially that potentially involve the president, deputy president then, as well as his party and other people associated with him, versus someone who sits in an oversight role over an investigative body like IDAC? Is it your argument that it's par for the cause, it's equally concerning, regardless of the role for which he is now being appointed?
Not regardless of the role. this role is very specific. If you go to the Act, Section 22A of the NPA Act, is very clear on that clause 8. It's very clear about the person that must head up this institution. It's not just some advocate, some senior counsel. No, it's a retired judge. So it's very clear that the legislature, when they made this provision in the law, they wanted somebody of that caliber, because we're dealing here with a whole lot of shenanigans. So therefore, the issue of being perceived to be impartial is the make or break of the credibility of this position. The public confidence will be driven by the impartiality of the person. You see, like right now, I think Judge Raulinga has already failed in his position. In November last year, whose name, Advocate Johnson, you can just go into the PMG, you know, that Parliament publication, on the 7th of November. That's right. On the 7th of November, it stated there that in response to a question in the IDAC committee, Advocate Johnson, and the question was, at which point is the IDAC oversight mechanism going to be put into place? And the answer was that, no, President Ramaphosa has already appointed Judge Raulinga in October already. Now you then say, okay, the man has been on the position in October. The shenanigans that are happening in IDAC are happening right under his nose. So what difference is it going to make now? And now Minister Kubayi, on the 10th of July, she makes this announcement, and the impression to a lot of people's mind is that this is a new appointment, it's just happened. No, this thing happened 9 months ago. So the question is, what is it that Judge Raulinga was doing for the whole of 9 months? What was he doing? This rot that is happening in IDAC is happening right under his nose.
Let me squeeze in another question. Let me squeeze in another question. In response to these concerns, Judge Raulinga is confirming his commitment to impartiality and says that he has a lengthy career on the bench, and that stands as proof of his dedication to the rule of law. But additionally, he then makes the point that this institution will be shielded from, interference of the kind that you are concerned about, because it will be entirely independent of the NPA and the IDAC leadership, and will also be accounting directly to Parliament and the Portfolio Committee on Justice. Does that not deal with your concerns at all?
I think we've got track record of 9 months of what happened in the past 9 months. In the past 9 months, the shenanigans that have happened in IDAC when the man has already been appointed just shows that it's totally ineffective. And I would argue it's because he's busy massaging political arrangements, as it were. I mean, what else can you put this to? If in October the man is appointed and all these shenanigans happen, we have a Mukwele on the one side that gets arrested on the understanding that she might just do something wrong in the future and she gets arrested. Where is the retired judge when that happens? You have a National Commissioner of Police that gets arrested for some flimsy thing around PFMA. And the question we've been asking Advocate Johnson is this, that if you can be arrested for PFMA, where does that leave the 34 odd DGs that also have got PFMA issues? Why are you singling out Masemula? All of these are shenanigans that are happening under the nose of Raulinga for the past 9 months. So he has just shown that he's not going to be an effective person. He has failed for the past 9 months to show his presence.
All right. Let's leave it there for this evening because of time. Thank you for coming through. That's the MK Party whip in the Peace and Security Cluster, also a member of the Justice Committee, Mzwanele Manyi, talking to us there about the appointment of retired Judge Takalani Raulinga as the IDAC Ombud. Clearly, lots of issues there to unpack, including, and he rightly points out, the timelines. When exactly was he appointed versus the announcement of the appointment?